5, 4, 3, 2, 1. All systems go with Josh Appelbaum starts now.
Hello and welcome to episode 393 of the All Systems Go Sports Betting Podcast, powered by Rhythm. I am your host, Josh Appelbaum. What's going on, everyone? Happy Tuesday. Another day here in the arena, guys. And we got a lot to dissect and talk about here on today's podcast. It's going to be all college sports to talk about tonight because we got a big 5-pack for you. That's right. I got 5 sweats, 2 Maction plays, 1 side, 1 total for some Maction Tuesday Night Football. Excited about that. And then also 3 college basketball plays. And I really think the angle here with college hoops, you may have sweat some college games with me in years past, whether it was on the All Systems Go pod or way back to my Sports Insights days. But I really love moneylining short favorites. And we saw a couple come through last night with North Carolina A&T and Kent State. And to me, that's where I think you can really identify an edge because, again, there's a big difference between professional sports and college when it comes to home road. And especially, when you're a pro, you're a veteran, going on the road doesn't bother you. You're an adult, you've done it before. College, it's a different story, especially when you might have a rest advantage or, of course, a line move and a sharp sharp play there from Rhythm or Juice Reel. So moneylining short favorites, good night again last night. So I do have 3 short favorites here on the college basketball slate. So a 5-pack overall. Let's see if we can scratch and claw, find a way to win 3 or more of them, which is always the goal. Now, looking back to our last night, guys, decent start to the week, 2-1 plus 0.38 units. As I mentioned, Kent State and North Carolina A&T, 2 good winners there. North Carolina A&T pretty much rolled from start to finish. The importance of these tiny little matchups, and I got another one for you tonight, added game, extra game, games that the public doesn't care about. And I was actually DMing with my buddy King Nebuchadnezzar on Twitter, who's one of the sharpest guys I know, and he said, I love these tiny little matchups because, again, public isn't interested in betting North Carolina A&T. They probably never heard of them, but we like it because it's a sharp move where the public doesn't care, but pros have taken a position and moved that number. Kent State also had a big lead, kind of made it close, and then pulled away at the end. So another winner there for Kent State with a good sharp line move in their favor. So 2-0 college hoops. Unfortunately, have to tip our cap to the public, man. The public year in the NFL continues. Had a good buy low opportunity there last night with the Green Bay Packers. I mentioned on the pod I should have taken that under. Talk about a no sweat there, 10-7 game, nothing at halftime. But Green Bay, they were pretty much lining up, buy low, sell high, tons of system matches, Rhythm recommended Green Star play. Just couldn't get it done there. And Jordan Love, man, I've never really sweated Jordan Love game, or haven't in a while, I guess I should say. He is a frustrating quarterback to get behind. Tail end of the first half, you're crossing midfield. You can kick a field goal maybe and get a lead into halftime. Instead, he fumbles the ball. So they couldn't get anything going offensively until the very end. And really that sealed our fate. And I thought with Nick Sirianni making a stupid play at the very end to go for it and give the ball back to us, maybe we had a shot there. But Packers came up short. So I did have to respect that line move. In the end, that line move proved important because Philly, if you notice, they closed closer to a pick'em. Some shops even went to Philly -1. So I had a lot of people DM me and say, dog to fave, take Philly. And I'm like, yeah, I love dog to fave, but not when the public, nearly 80% is on it. So as a contrarian bettor, it's one of those games where, again, you go against the public and public had the last laugh. So couldn't get Green Bay, but did have a winning night, which is always the goal. And that's the importance of flat betting, risking 1 unit on Green Bay, just like North Carolina A&T or Kent State. So you never want to get, put 5 units on Green Bay and a half unit on these college plays, and then you have a big losing night. No, winning night because it's flat betting, risking 1 unit per play. So let's see if we can get a couple winners here for today. Now, I want to start off with some action because there's 2 games here for tonight. I've noticed some good sharp moves here on both of them. So let's start with the early game, 7:30 p.m. Eastern Time, Kent State and Akron. Setting the stage for this one, we got Kent State 3-6 on the year. Just came up short against Ball State 17-13. Remember, we had the under in that game last week. Did not cover, though, as a 3-point road dog. On the other hand, Akron, the Zips, 4-6 on the year. Just beat up on poor little UMass, my safety school. I went to the University of Vermont instead. But beat up on UMass 44-10, easily covered as a 12.5-point home favorite. So what have you seen across the market here? Well, pretty consistent movement toward Akron. If you tell me you want to lay the points with Akron, I'm not going to argue with you. My play, though, was on the total. But in terms of the side, we saw Akron open around a 5.5-point home favorite. We've now seen Akron get bet up to -6.5. And if you notice the juice, it's not juiced back toward Kent State like it may get down to 6. No, it's actually creeping up further, it looks like, towards 7, because all these -6.5s are -115, -120. And I do see a couple books up to 7. So the line is clearly going toward Akron. At Circa, Akron 79% of spread bets, over 95% of spread dollars. So big low bets, higher dollar split in favor of Akron out in Vegas. Both teams were out even offensively, averaging about 18 points a game, but Akron does have the better defense, giving up 29 points per game. May not sound great, but you have, on the other hand, Kent State giving up roughly 36 points per game. Now, advantage here in terms of rest goes to Akron. One-day rest advantage. They played on the 4th of November. Kent State played on the 5th. Akron is playing their second straight home game. Kent State playing their second straight road game. So if you tell me like Akron, that's a side I would lean. Pretty clear move in their favor. But my angle here, I'm going to play the under. Now, I was a little bit surprised. This line did tick up a bit, but this is a windy under system play for me. Now, this total opened around 47.5. It actually got bet down to 46.5 yesterday. And I was like, okay, I can still get a 47.5, so I'm grabbing it. And I was surprised because today it's back up to 48.5. So it does kind of worry me a bit. This line did tick up, but I'm going to give you a few reasons to still like this under. One, it's a contrarian play. You look at DraftKings right now, only 44% of bets, but 64% of dollars are on this Akron Kent State under. So you got a little bit low bets, higher dollar split in the favor of a lower scoring game. Kent State also 135th in pace of play. So they are one of the slowest, actually the second slowest team in all of college football. So again, if you're a team that is not very good scoring wise and you're very, very slow, typically that's a good angle there to root for an under. And another angle for me, other than being very slow, is that both these teams not great in terms of third down percentage and red zone offense. If you look at Akron, they're 129th in third down percentage. Remember, there's only 136 teams. Kent State also is 96th, or let me get this right. Let's see. Akron, I should say. Let's stick with Akron. 122nd in red zone offense. So Akron doesn't convert a lot on third down. They don't convert a lot in the red zone. On the other hand, Kent State is very slow. So there's a couple little feathers in the cap of hopefully a lower scoring game. But really what this comes down to me for is a weather-based play. Now, if you look at the weather for this game here tonight, it's going to be freezing cold, about 30 degrees. But here's the angle. Windy under system play. 15-mile-per-hour winds throughout the game, gusts up to 30 miles per hour. So when it's really, really windy, I got a system play here. Windy unders is one of the early systems I learned when I started to get into system-based betting, because the beauty of a windy under is it doesn't really matter which two teams you plug into it. As long as it fits the criteria, 10 miles per hour or more, you've seen the under cash around 55% in college football over the last 20 years or so. So why is that important? Again, with systems, it's not just that you can overfit them and have a great record. There has to be a good theory behind it. And the theory is that, hey, when it's really windy, it's harder to throw the ball. It's harder to connect on passes. It's harder to move the chains. It's harder to make kicks. It might go wide left, wide right, or come up short. But then also, on the other hand, if you're not going to throw it as much, you're going to run it more, and running chews up the clock. So that's the big angle for me with this under. I fully admit I'm a little surprised this thing ticked up to 48.5. But you can get under 48.5 right now. I got a bad under 47.5, but I'm going to play a windy under. It's contrarian. We have a slow team in Kent State, a team in Akron who doesn't convert a lot. I'm going under 47.5 again. You can get under 48.5 right now if you want to play the under Akron and Kent State with me. Next one for you. Let's look at Ohio and Western Michigan, the 8 o'clock game here for tonight. Now, coming into it, we have Ohio 6-3. They just held off Miami, Ohio, 24-20. Did cover as a 2.5-point home favorite last game. Western Michigan, 5-4 on the year. Just held off Central Michigan, 24-21. They didn't cover, though, as a 6-point home favorite. So what have we seen across the market here? Well, this game opened Ohio around a 1-point road favorite. So Ohio, very, very short road favorite. And the public says Ohio's the better team. They're 6-3, better record than Western Michigan, 5-4. Short number, play Ohio. However, even though you're getting nearly around 55% of spread bets going with Ohio, the line is completely flipped. Woo, woo! We have a dog to fave line move. Ohio opened -1. We have now flipped to Western Michigan -1.5. So love that dog to fave move. Tells me a lot of big money came in on Western Michigan. Now, Western Michigan, really good bet split here. Only 45% of spread bets, but 81% of spread dollars in their favor. So good low bets, higher dollar split at DK, and at Circa, 74% of spread bets, 80% of spread dollars. Now, Western Michigan does have a big 3-day rest advantage. They last played on November 1st at home, so they don't have to travel, versus Ohio, who played on November 4th. This is a money line play for me, so I money lined Western Michigan at minus 115. I like the splits at DraftKings on the money line. Western Michigan only 37% of money line bets, but 65% of money line dollars. And then here's the kicker, system play for you. When two MAC teams play each other in conference play, so a MACtion game, the home favorite straight up 16-3 this year, 84%. So you had me at dog to fave line move. I'm going to mitigate some risk, go money line. I hate to see Western Michigan win by 1. You lose your 1.5. So I did play Western Michigan, dog to fave. Again, two MACtion teams face off. Home favorite straight up wins 84% of the time this year. So I played Western Michigan money line. And oh, by the way, 25% sharp mush edge from our friends at Juice Reel in favor of Western Michigan. So Kent State under 47.5, 48.5. Western Michigan money line. See if we can at least get one. If we could get both, that would be pretty great. Now, over to college basketball. I got some college hoops plays for you guys. So first one on the board, this is game 6-2-1, 6-2-2. Davidson at Charlotte. Now, both teams come in playing pretty well, both 2-0. You had Davidson beat Delaware State, or DeSalle. I got to get my abbreviations right. Kind of a small school there. And they just beat Washington State as well, 85-69. And then Charlotte, 2-0, beat Indiana State and Tennessee Tech. Just beat Tennessee Tech 70-65. This meets our moneyline short favorite system match because Charlotte opened as a very, very short 1-point favorite at home. Now Charlotte is up to minus 1.5. So a little bit of line movement toward Charlotte. I really like the splits. At DraftKings, only 44% of bets, but 59% of dollars are on Charlotte. So we got a line move. We have a low bets, higher dollar split. Now KenPom does have Charlotte winning the game by 1. So not a huge edge on the laying the 1.5, but at least he's got him winning the game. Rhythm has Charlotte minus 1.8. So Rhythm also has Charlotte winning this game. Our friends at Juice Reel have a 17% sharp mush edge on Charlotte. So the sharper winning players who have downloaded Juice Reel also going Charlotte. Another angle for me, again, sometimes these stats, you got to take them with a grain of salt because they're playing these tiny little schools that they beat up on. But as of right now, big edge in the offensive rebound department for Charlotte. So they rank 14th in college hoops in offensive rebound percentage. Davidson, on the other hand, ranks 335th. So they're at the bottom of the barrel. This is the third straight home game for Charlotte. So again, playing well, 2-0, 2-0 at home, no travel involved, versus Davidson playing their first road game. So maybe that's a little bit of an edge as well. But we have a little bit of a line move toward Charlotte. We have a low bets, higher dollar split. We got KenPom winning the game by 1, Rhythm winning the game by about 2, better offensive rebound percentage, Juice Reel sharp mush edge, third straight home game, Davidson first road game. I played Charlotte to win the damn game. On the money line, again, money lining is short favorite, similar to Western Michigan in college football. I got Charlotte minus 125. On the money line, win the damn game. Next one for you, Georgia Southern and Florida Gulf Coast. Now, this is a lower bet game. It's an added extra game. Why is that important? Because just like, NCAA last night, a game that no one really cares about in terms of the public. You can't find it on the TV when you go to the bar, but pros have taken a position. Now, how do I know? Because the line's moving toward Florida Gulf Coast. Now, Florida Gulf Coast comes in 1-1. They won their opener against New College, the mighty Banyans in Florida. Never heard of them. They just got rolled by Illinois, but Illinois, powerhouse, really good team. Lost 113-70. And you have Georgia Southern 1-1, lost to East Carolina, just beat UNC Asheville 93-90. However, as I mentioned, add a game extra game. Game 306-533, 306-534. So you got to get that added extra tab on your app if you got to find it, or you can't find it when you first log in. So this game opened Florida Gulf Coast, very short, about a 1.5 point favorite at home. We've now seen Florida Gulf Coast get bet up to -3, -3.5. So a good move there in a low bet game on Florida Gulf Coast. Pretty clear pros liking Florida Gulf Coast. Remember back in the day, they were, Dub City or Dunk City when they made that deep trip to the March Madness. Now, add a game, extra game, sharp line move. Rhythm has Florida Gulf Coast -3.3. Here's what I really like, though. KenPom has Florida Gulf Coast winning by 5. So that's a little bit of an edge there. Better defensive efficiency, 206th in the country for Florida Gulf Coast. Doesn't sound great, but Georgia Southern is 324th. Florida Gulf Coast 1-0 at home. Georgia Southern 0-1 on the road. One-day rest advantage. Florida Gulf Coast last played on the 7th versus Georgia Southern playing on the 8th. Big rebound advantage, 44.5 boards per game versus 34.5. Again, we have a much better defensive efficiency as well. So I played Florida Gulf Coast. Anytime you see a tiny little game like this with a line move, tells me that Sharps have really targeted it, even though the public doesn't really care. So I got Florida Gulf Coast money line, minus 162 at DraftKings. Shop around some other books around minus 165, minus 170. Last bet of the night for me. Let's go to an 8 o'clock game. Game 635, 636. Arkansas State at Missouri State. Now, Arkansas State comes in 1-1. They beat Ohio their first game, and they lost to Stephen F. Austin, got rolled 90-65. Missouri State comes in 2-0. They beat Missouri Southern, beat up on them, and then they just beat Northwestern, not Northwestern of Chicago, but Northwestern Oklahoma State. Again, some of these teams you wouldn't expect when you see their abbreviation, but they crushed them 106-57. Now, what have we seen across the market here? Well, not a huge line move. You open Missouri State around -2. You're still around -2. Some shops have touched as high as -2.5. But what I like about this game, a couple things. Number one, Ken Palm has Missouri State winning by 3. So a little bit of an edge. We have Rhythm saying Missouri State should be -2.6. So again, not an edge on the 2.5 or 2, but an edge on the money line. And then a 33% sharp mush edge in favor of Missouri State with Juice Reel. Again, I'm looking at scheduling home road. Missouri State, 3rd straight home game. Arkansas State, 3rd straight road game. We have seen Missouri State be much better offensively, 97 points a game versus 77. You have a field goal percentage, 50% versus 40%. Big rebounding advantage, 53 per game versus 35 per game. So again, not a huge line move play. Like obviously with Charlotte and Florida Gulf Coast and Western Michigan, those lines have moved in favor of those teams. This isn't a line move play, but it's a discrepancy play where Ken Palm says they should win by 3, Rhythm by about 3, sharp mush from Juice Reel, and the home road, 3rd straight home game versus 3rd straight road game. So I did money line. Missouri State got a -135. Again, shop around some books as high as -140. So there you have it, guys. 3 college hoops plays. Let's try to get 2 out of 3. College football, let's get at least one of those. But of course, 5 overall. We're trying to get 3 when all is said and done. So that about does it for episode 393 of the All Systems Go Sports Betting Podcast, powered by Rhythm. This is the part of the pod where we wrap things up. And I start first by saying thank you. Thank you for listening. Thank you for tuning in. Thank you for grinding through the ups and downs of sports betting. Just like life, you're not going to have every day be a good day. One day you're going to spill your coffee on yourself. You're going to be late for work. Things happen. But as always, we keep grinding and keep staying true to the data-driven model, which, again, will have ups and downs. That's the thing. Like Green Bay, public's all over Eagles. The Eagles win. Sometimes that happens. But you got to stick with it and continue to think long-term. And remember, anytime the public wins, the house loses. And the house isn't in the business of losing long-term. So if you do enjoy this pod, you value the insights, which I hope you do, then please, would you consider giving the pod a 5-star review on Spotify or iTunes? Leave a nice comment if you're so obliged. Recommend the pod to a friend. Click the follow button. But those 5-star reviews on Spotify and iTunes, those really help. So if you don't mind, that would be awesome for you to do. Next, if you enjoy this style of sports betting, data-driven, sharp contrarian betting, focusing on what the market is telling us, not what our biases are telling us. Where's the money flowing? Where are the splits? Where are the system matches? Taking a contrarian approach. Again, leaning on data and analytics, not what your heart's telling you. But if this style of betting has appealed to you, you want to learn more about data-driven betting, obviously the holidays are coming up, so here's a great idea for a stocking stuffer or a gift for your uncle, your cousin, your son, whoever. Go to Amazon.com and type in the NFL Sharp Betting Playbook. It's my new book, came out a couple months ago. Actually, almost came out 3 months ago today. Can you believe it or not? August, September, October, November. Yeah, came out August 12th. Today is November 11th. But if you want to pick one up, you'd make my day. You'd learn more about data-driven betting. You support the team. If you also want to buy my first book, you could also be a hero, The Everything Guide to Sports Betting, which is basically the overall data-driven approach for all sports. But buy one or both. Make my day. Bring them to the sports book. I'll sign them for you. I'll buy you a beer or a ginger ale. We'll sweat some games together. Next, have you downloaded Rhythm and Juice Reel yet? Rhythm, great for their AI-backed models and predictions for game bets and player props, as well as Juice Reel, fantastic for a variety of reasons. Number one, if you want to support the pod and tip your podcast host, you can sign up to get the $4.99 a week best bets. As soon as I bet them, they go right to the app. You can get them right there on Juice Reel. You also get the Robo Jackson best bet picks, the Sharp Mush indicators, the arbitrage plays, the shop for the best line futures, all available on Juice Reel. So download Rhythm, download Juice Reel, give them a 5-star review in the App Store. Next, do you have a live odds page? If you don't have one, you need one. It makes your life a lot easier. Now, you're not going to guarantee a win because you never can in sports betting, but again, following the market, if you are a data-driven bettor, you need to be able to track the market in real time. What did the game open at? Where is it now? How has it moved? Pull up the line history. If the line's moving, they get lit up in red, so you know you got to jump on a book before it adjusts if you like to play. But always getting the best price, finding that dog plus 6.5 when everyone else is at 6. And you can do all of that with Odds Logic. And they also just put out the new dark mode, which is really cool. I've been enjoying that, which is the back interface there. But if you want to give Odds Logic a shot, here's a promo code for you or a special link to use. oddslogic.com/Josh123. That'll give you a 7-day free trial and 50% off your first month of service. Lastly, have you given Novig a shot? Novig is a sports betting exchange. It's not a sports book. So instead of getting jacked up with the juice prices, minus 115, minus 120, you're not going against the book or the house. You're going up against other bettors in an exchange. So the juice is really minus 105, minus 103, plus 102, which means you can win at the same rate you would at a sports book, but make more money because you're paying less juice. So if you want to download Novig when you fund your account, just plug in Josh123 for that promo code. You'll get a 100% deposit match up to $25. So that about does it, guys, for episode 393 on a big Tuesday. By the way, thank you to all the veterans out there, current and retired. We really appreciate you guys because you keep us safe and you allow us to live in this fun world of sports betting when there's real serious things going on in the world. So seriously, thank you for your service. We really appreciate you guys. But as always, guys, a couple final thoughts. Whether I see you at the Borgata in Atlantic City, Twin River in Rhode Island, the Brook in New Hampshire, Foxwoods or Mohegan Sun down in Connecticut, at the Encore in Boston, Plainridge Park Casino, MGM Springfield, the Nash in my neck of the woods around the border of Nashville, New Hampshire, and Massachusetts, or out in the desert where the true grinders get down, where Billy Walters sends his number runners, where the lowest juice possible is found at the South Point, or Sweat and Sharp Contrarian plays jumping in the stadium swim pool when you cash a big ticket at Circa. Wherever it may be, you're going to walk up to me and show me a nice Kent State ticket, a nice NC North Carolina A&T ticket, whatever you do. Packers, man, how annoying and frustrating was it to sweat the Packers last night? My guy Willie Tomlinson, man, you were there in the flesh. That's a rough one there because felt like we could just get nothing going, no traction whatsoever. And again, you lose 10-7 in a football game, man, that's brutal. But either way, guys, first one's on me, next one's on you. Post about the book and sweat some college hoops and college football tonight. So as always, guys, coming off a 2-1, a 1-2, a 3-0, an 0-3, hot, cold, somewhere in the middle, grinding. We just got to stick to the model, stick to the blueprint, discipline with our bankroll management, play the system match when it appears. And you guys might know by now. If you don't, it goes something like this. Games that fit our model are against the public, with the house, with the pros. Flat bet, avoid parlays, and get that CLV. If we can do that, we're going to be successful sports bettors. So have a great Tuesday night, everybody. Let's get some winners here in college. And we'll be right back at it tomorrow for episode 394 of the All Systems Go Sports Betting Podcast, powered by Rhythm. Good luck, everybody, and have a great Tuesday night. And thank you, of course, to the veterans.